FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Most of you I can see are way too young to remember this, but back then, outdoor magazines, outside stories, adventure stories, were the kinds of things that you might find in a barber shop, you know, one with a pole. And they had names like Argosy and Saga and Adventure and Adventure for Man and Man's Testicle. And they had titles like, oh, Jaguars Ripped My Flesh. Totally inoffensive animals attack people in these books. You know, that was my first book, my first outdoor book, Jaguars Ripped My Flesh. The idea, when I presented it to Michael Rogers and Harriet Fear, my two compatriots, and coming up with the thing, said, no, Tim, you don't understand. We're a literate magazine, and outdoor adventure is for the man's testicle crowd. You know, the guys who think pro wrestling is on the up and up and move their lips when they read. I said, no. It doesn't really have to be that way. If you see, for instance, a shark while you're diving, say a tiger shark, a dangerous one, you don't necessarily have to pull out a penknife and battle it to death in great gouts of blood. Perhaps you could write about the fear that you felt and maybe the core of wonder at the middle of that. If you could write about that well, and you don't need Superman to do an adventure story. I mean, where is the drama in Superman? What's going to go wrong? He can leap tall mountains in a single bound. I mean, he's not going to have any trouble. You got to have somebody who is a little bit clumsy. You got to have somebody who can write a coherent English sentence, but he's easily frightened. And I recall Harriet Fear saying, Tim, you do it. And that's how I came to be an adventure writer.
Right.
There's nobody else. First of all, nobody thought that an adventure story could be literate to begin with, and secondly, it was a subgenre of literature at that time, so it was quite a surprise to my friends and I. They were my friends that came up with and maybe to me too, that my stories were among the most popular in the magazine, and therefore, and the stories of of Argosy, Saga, Man's Adventure were always titled something like this: Jaguars Ripped My Flesh. So when I did my first collection of outdoor adventure stories of the kind that I wrote that were very popular in the magazine and helped it win the National Magazine Award 3 times in a row, I decided to title it Jaguars Ripped My Flesh. It's an in-joke just making fun of 2 people.